If aliens arrive tomorrow, would religion survive? Imagine at 11:35 tomorrow morning, every TV station, every smartphone, every digital billboard and every satellite begins broadcasting the same live message. It's confirmed and official. No more secrets. We are not alone. A fleet of alien spacecraft has touched down near a large city. Non-terrestrial humanoids are in personal touch with the UN Secretary General and key world leaders. No invasion, no destruction, just contact, for now. The world erupts into a mix of awe, fear, celebration, skepticism, and a degree of geopolitical coordination. The biggest question wouldn't be political or scientific, it would be spiritual. What is our place in the universe? Would the religions of the world adapt to this visit? Or would they begin to fall apart? Many people assume that the confirmed existence of aliens would seriously challenge mainstream religious faith. Some writers have already hypothesized that many beliefs are based on ancient humans mistaking visits from extraterrestrials for encounters with gods. After all, most major religions were founded for humans on Earth before the scientific age. If an alien civilization arrives that possesses technology so advanced it appears like mysticism, some will conclude that beyond doubt that humanity's most ancient religions were simply primitive attempts to explain the unknown. Some people might abandon their faith, and the others might add that many of humanity's conflicts, including sectarian violence, have been fueled by competing religious claims. So could alien contact become the catalyst for a more secular, unified civilization? Well, our history suggests something different. The First and Second World Wars were mainly about nationalism, not genuine religion, and in the past scientific revolutions have rarely destroyed faith. The heliocentric universe didn't. Evolutionary theory didn't. The Big Bang theory didn't. Yes, today we do live in a more secular world, but religions haven't disappeared. Throughout Earth's history, powerful civilizations have reshaped the beliefs of those they encountered. When Europeans colonized large parts of the world, they often imposed their own culture on societies that were materially less advanced. Sometimes those former belief systems disappeared, other times they adapted. In parts of the former Aztec Empire, for example, Spanish Catholicism became incorporated into existing local traditions, creating a fusion of European and indigenous beliefs. So if we are suddenly confronted by an alien civilization, many devout people wouldn't simply abandon their faith, rather they may reinterpret some of it, or merge it with the newcomer's ideas. What if the aliens themselves are religious? I think a lot would depend on the nature of the aliens, what kind of principles they adhere to, if any. Imagine the aliens come across as deeply spiritual and appear benevolent. Perhaps they believe in a creator, perhaps they pray, perhaps they teach it's all a cosmic oneness. What if they have scriptures that resemble the Bible, the Quran, the Puranas, or the Lotus Sutra? Or perhaps they contain concepts unlike anything humanity has ever imagined. Religious leaders would ask, are they confirming us or contradicting us? If their beliefs overlapped with one religious tradition more than others, that group may experience an enormous surge in followers. And new religious fusions and cults would almost certainly emerge. Within the Abrahamic traditions, some might interpret benevolent extraterrestrials as part of God's creation, perhaps with their own prophets and their own covenant. Or if the aliens appear unattractive to us, deceptive, callous or hostile, they may be identified as demons or devils. In Hindu traditions, comparisons might emerge with devas, pious and benevolent beings, and or asuras, atheistic and demoniac. Hindu, Buddhist and Jain cosmologies all describe a variety of inhabited realms populated by beings at different stages of spiritual advancement. And Hindu literature is full of stories about humans interacting with beings from other realms. And the killers of cows, the famous UFO cattle mutilations, for example, would be instantly recognized as the work of demons. And I must add that many indigenous traditions across the world preserve oral histories and art depicting sky or star people. Now consider that the aliens claim they created humanity, not God, but them, perhaps through genetic engineering hundreds of thousands of years ago, and they provide evidence. Would that disprove religion? Well, not necessarily. It's actually more of a challenge to the standard theory of evolution than it is to religion. Scriptures at least acknowledge the existence of higher powers and the supernatural. Many believers would also simply ask, who created the aliens then? Even if the aliens did engineer us, they might still be sub-creators or demi-gods within a larger universe, not the ultimate origin of all things. Some malevolent alien species may be trying to devolve us, like demons do. If they felt uncomfortable enough with it, millions of people may choose to reject the aliens' accounts entirely. The appearance, activities and ethical values of the aliens is likely to influence the degree of trust. If we instinctively feel something is wrong, why assume the visitors are telling the truth? Demons, the great deceivers, tell lies, after all. Now what if the most human-like visitors claim that they were actually our ancestors who split off and left the Earth long ago? That would account for any striking biological similarities. Indic religions might be able to accommodate that better than the Abrahamic ones. Ultimately, terrestrial humanity as a whole would begin asking the oldest question of all. What does our place in creation really mean? Because whether the visitors arrive as scientists, conquerors, missionaries, friends, distant relatives, or they're just curious, the search for meaning and purpose isn't something humanity will just give up. Such a pursuit defines us as a terrestrial species. Thanks for watching. Share with others.